Hello, happy Wellbeing Wednesday. Welcome back to my studios. How is everybody today? Middle of the week. Hope everyone's doing really well. Got some lovely Wellbeing Wednesday treats to share with everybody and hopefully a special guest. Let's hope technology works. Talking of which, let's get our friends on Facebook and YouTube. Oh, it says rotate my phone. I'm going to leave it, see what happens. Hello Facebook, hello YouTube. Am I the right way round? I just had a message from my phone telling me to rotate. You're going to have to tell me whether I'm okay or not. Happy Wellbeing Wednesday. Hope everyone's doing well. Welcome back to my studios. Lots of lovely things to share with you. I've had some great feedback as well, actually. Lovely comments from people. So thank you very much for those. I'm just going to open up my iPad here because I've got Amy. Are you the right way round? You tell me. Who is manning Facebook. Hi, Amy. I hope you're well. Gosh, I haven't seen you in real life for so long, most of the year. But I feel as though we've been very much connected, obviously, which is really good. So where are we? There we go. Let's open this up. Yeah, lots to talk about. I've got a really brand new, lovely 12 Days of Christmas to share with you. I'm on my side, am I? That's so annoying. Right, here we go. I'm going to twist it round. I am sorry. I don't know why it does that. Sometimes it does it fine, sometimes it doesn't. If we've got somebody from Facebook watching, maybe you can tell me. Anyway, there we go. Hopefully I'm the right way round now. Yes. So this dress, I'm already getting comments on it. This is one of Annie's. You may have seen I did a split screen with Annie Reid of Sanson Reid not that long ago. And she's just got such a great selection. I love watching her lives. She does something, I think, every day. She's on Instagram, like all over it. And this is also one of her headbands. And this is one of her belts, you know, to pull the whole thing together. I love these little metallic suede. They're Italian suede belts with that kind of little shimmery sheen. Do you see that? Hopefully you can see that. Anyway, she's got 10% off Liz Loves between now and Christmas. All her dresses, all her headbands and all her belts, which is great. And I think the headbands from memory start from about £12. I've got some of the other ones here. I'm actually rather liking these. I feel, maybe I'll do a quick switch. I feel very Grace Kelly in this one. What do you think? I think it's a bit like an Hermes scarf. You know, I feel like I should be driving an open top sports car along, you know, some beautiful part of the Riviera. Or there's also lovely raffia ones, which I really like. Might have seen these for the summer. Or indeed just for the bathroom, actually, if you're doing your skincare. You want to pull your hair back with something. They're really gentle, so I know even my lovely Lil, who can't really wear much on her head at the moment because of her migraines. Yeah, what do we think? Yeah, that's getting lots of thumbs up. You like that one? Oh, you've got that one, have you? Oh, great. And the other one, which is a bit different, which I do also like, had a lot of fun playing with these, is this one, which is just sort of a nice piece of vintagey looking ribbon, like a tapestry ribbon, on a really soft band. So let me... Yeah, maybe that one. What do we think? Yeah, leave it on for now. And I know Annie said you shouldn't pull your hair back because it makes you look like a schoolgirl, but I quite like it at the moment. I think because I just had a bit chopped off, so it's a bit shorter, so it's a bit more kind of bobby. Anyway, it's a great cheat when you haven't done your hair. Stick on a headband. So today, right, I am going to hopefully be joined by a really lovely guy called Neil, who has been running Vintage Roots for, well, gosh, I first spoke to him probably about 30 years ago when I was just starting out in journalism and writing about organic wine and biodynamic farming and all of that stuff. So for those of you who've got the current magazine, you will be aware that we have an organic wine offer. I'll just find it to show you because here we go. It's on page 92 and 93 if you've got your mag and want to have a look. That's my lovely friend, Richard, one of my oldest friends, who's a top master of wine now, amazing. He travels all over the world to give lectures and things. And he recorded a wine tasting that he and I did together over Zoom, which you get an access to if you get your wine box. So this has got 12 bottles in it, and I know lots of you have been snapping it up because they're all organic and some of them are biodynamic, vegan. There's 3 bottles of Prosecco's, we've got organic fizz, we've got rosé, 4 bottles of organic white, 3 bottles of organic red, and even a pudding wine, which is completely organic. So let me see whether we have Neil in the house. Yes, I think this is his first ever Instagram live. So let's see. Now, I have sent you a request, Neil. So I think you've got to request to join me now. So there we go. I'm waiting. So, oh, you got the wine box. That's Sarah. And you enjoyed the live Zoom. Yeah, that was really fun, wasn't it? Well, we have recorded it. So it's
Hello.
on a private link. Hi, Neil.
How are you doing?
I'm very well. Can you hear me all right? Can you see me?
I can. I'm in my front meeting room. It's a bit cold, but I'm here. It seems to be
Wonderful. I'm going to
working.
try and turn you up a bit because my lovely friends on Facebook, they can hear you but not see you. How's that?
Okay.
Oh, that's better.
I'll move
Can
forward.
you hear? Can you hear Neil all right? Good.
Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear. So, is this your first ever Instagram live?
Oh, it is. Yes, definitely is. Yeah, I'm a bit of a technophobe.
How's it going
Being
so
my
far?
age, yeah.
All right.
It's going okay. Yeah, with your assistant's help, I think we're here, and yeah, let's hope it doesn't all go black or
Excellent.
something
Now,
like
I
that.
was just showing our friends here the amazing box that we put together. And your company, you're obviously a founder of Vintage Roots, which is like the leading organic biodynamic wine experts. And I mean, not only wine, but you do organic beer and cider and all sorts, don't you?
We do a big range. I mean, we started with wine, that was the core. I mean, this is going back a long time to 1985, 1986,
Yeah.
before organics was really on the map. And we started with 12 wines on a sheet of A4 paper on the Enterprise Allowance Scheme, which was Maggie Thatcher's idea to get young entrepreneurs up and running and get them off the dole, basically.
And that was you. That's amazing. And why organic wine back then? What was your passion?
Well, it was a genuine idea that we wanted to, with 2 friends, to run a business and work for ourselves and work in something or with a product that we really believed in and enjoyed. I mean, I enjoyed wine. My father introduced me to that and told me how to use a corkscrew. And yeah, off we went to France and did some research. We picked grapes for a while, travelled around on a bus actually. But anyway, one thing led to another, and the idea to start a business in organic wines started back in the mid '80s. And yeah, we did some research, got samples, did a lot of tastings, and we learned as we went along really. But the whole idea about organic was the core of it, because the philosophy behind organics just seemed to resonate. And at the end of the day, the wine trade, maybe not for us in those times, but with an organic message, that ticked the box for us.
Brilliant. Now, tell us about the difference. Why is organic wine different? Because, I mean, I've long been a fan and I will always choose organic wine over others because I find I get less of a headache the next day. And obviously, I want to support the environment, be more sustainable. But from a wine perspective, what do you think makes the difference?
Yeah, it's a bit multi-layered, really. I mean, it's the same messaging as organic food. Yes, it's healthier. For you personally, you're not going to ingest any excess toxic pesticides and chemicals. And also, for the environmental side, the farmers that are growing organic grapes tend to look after their environments much more closely. Biodiversity is better, and all round it just makes sense, really. So I think there's many advantages. And personally, obviously, the health benefits are there. Obviously, you've got to be careful with alcohol. I've got to be careful with my messaging. Drinking lots of alcohol is not healthy
That's
to accept.
not what we're saying, but a nice glass of something, and if you're going to do that and actually drink it, take it into your body, make sure it's some of the best that you can, limit the risk. And we know now that there are things like the polyphenols in wine, there's the resveratrol, there's lots of good news actually for well-being when it comes to wine.
There is, a couple of glasses of red wine with your meal is a very healthy thing to do. So I think it's if you're going to drink, I'm bound to say, drink organic. And it's also, the message is also around quality, because producing organically, quite often the production is lower. So, lower production, less grapes quite often means healthier grapes, and also concentrated flavors, the sugar, the balance of the fruit, the must and the grape skins, the tannins, all the extracts from the grape really, hopefully are going to be in a better harmonious state than, I don't know. I mean, things have changed quite a lot in the 70s and 80s, wine growing was very industrial, but which is what we want to get away from. So I think choosing organic is a good message. And these days, everyone knows what organic means, which is great. When I started in the 80s, you had to really explain the whole concept of organic from the ground up.
Yeah. I apologise to a few people. They're saying the sound quality is a bit echoey. I think you're talking to us from the depths of Hampshire. I think there's a slight delay.
Yeah.
I've turned you up so everyone can Facebook and hear you, which means I'm a bit quieter. So bear with us. But what you have to say is very interesting. Now, you were talking about quality, and in the wine box that we've got on our website, by the way, so there is a link to it if you want to check it. We've got 3 bottles of this amazing organic Prosecco. And this family, we chose this because we did a wine tasting. I know it was such a hard job, but somebody had to do it. Okay, we had to taste lots of different wine to bring the
exactly.
And this family, they've been making Prosecco since the 1400s in Italy.
They're quite an old setup. Yes, I mean I don't know if they've been actually making the Prosecco wine, but their family goes back to 1427, I think, and their strapline on their literature is experience matters, and they've had a lot of it. So fantastic setup. The Giol estate, absolute ace Prosecco wines. They do a range, and they also do Pinot Grigios, Merlots, everything else. But really fantastic historical estate.
And this one, it says at the top very clearly, I know it'll come out backwards for everybody watching, but it's organic and it's vegan. Talk us through what makes a wine vegan.
Yeah, the vegan thing has definitely come on in the last few years. I mean, since I think it was the late 80s, we started introducing V and VG symbols in our little wine list, which was either vegetarian or vegan suitable. So during the winemaking process, when the wine is in barrel, starting with grape juice, which often looks cloudy and murky. It's been half fermented. There's all sorts of proteins and stuff floating around in there. So part of the process is fining, which is dropping a substance in the top of the barrel, if you like, and letting it float through the wine. And in that process, it takes out all the fine particles. So you end up with a nice, clear, bright looking wine.
Right.
We don't want cloudy looking cider. Most people prefer, a clean and bright looking wine. So those products can be animal origin, like egg whites or isinglass, which is part of the fish bladder. Or, if a winemaker actually wants to, or has got the time to be patient and just let this process happen naturally, all those particles will settle over time. So, by virtue of what the winemaker uses in that process, the wine is then either vegan or not vegan, or vegetarian or not vegetarian.
They don't end up in the wine, do they? So it's just actually used in the process of making it.
It's in the process, yes. So egg whites is very common, so it floats down to the bottom, and then the wine is racked off from above. So it's not as if you're leaving any of that, product in the wine.
Siphon off from the top. I can feel a little trip coming on when we're allowed to, Neil. Perhaps we could head off somewhere and you could pick one of your favourite vineyards. I tell you, one of the vineyards I'd love to go to. We probably can't get permission to go there, but this bottle of something special. This is a red Chianti that's in the box, and this is made by Sting, isn't it?
Yeah, it's made by Sting and Trudy Styler.
And it's called When We Dance. Yeah. It's got a really cool little label. Look at that cat dancing on.
Beautiful label.
But it's a really nice wine, isn't it?
Oh, it's lovely. Yeah, very, very juicy. Sort of Sangiovese grapes. Great with pasta, or just good enough to drink on its own. It's a beautiful wine from the 2018 vintage. Yeah. I think the label is fantastic. Yeah, it's very eye-catching, and that was an actual thing. Someone trained a ballet dancer to walk on bottles in that fashion. That you can see.
Yeah, isn't that incredible?
Yeah. It's incredible. Yeah, they were actually magnums, and she's balanced on the bottle. Not something I would try at home or anywhere.
That is, yeah. Well,
Yeah,
maybe after a bottle, you might want to give that a go. But that is amazing, honestly. How stylish! I
yeah.
mean, you can imagine Sting and Trudy Styler would have to do something a little bit different. And the other bottle that we've got, which you can see, has actually been just slightly opened. But I'm going to keep the rest of this till Christmas Day. This is the
Yeah.
dessert wine, the pudding wine.
Yes, Heaven on Earth,
Heaven
great
on
name
Earth.
for
What a
wine.
great name.
Yeah, South African. And it's, I mean, you say it's open, but because it's very sweet, it's like a pudding wine or a
Yeah,
dessert wine, it will keep, especially if you put
yeah.
it in the fridge. It'll
Yeah, I've
keep
had
a
it in the
week
fridge.
probably. Yeah, yeah, perfect.
Oh, only a
So
week.
it's
Oh,
delicious.
better finish it up, drink it.
Delicious with Christmas pudding or a bit of Christmas cake, or
Yeah.
have it like you would a sherry or something. It's
Can't
fantastic
wait.
stuff.
It tastes delicious. And what's really nice about this is it says organic and fair trade. And it's from
Yes.
fair trade wines of South Africa. So you know that the pickers are being
Yeah.
fairly paid, they're being well looked after, the environment, as you say, the biodiversity, all of that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just such a good
Yes.
message. So how many wines do you have now? You started back in the day with 12. How many is looking
Started
for
with
this?
12. I think we've got, I don't know, I haven't counted recently, but yeah, it keeps getting added to. So it's about
Roughly
450, 500. So we've
500.
got, yeah, big selection now. Also beers, as you say, juices, ciders,
Yeah.
spirits, gin, vodka, rum. So yeah,
They're
things
all
have
organic,
expanded
and that's
quite a
amazing, isn't
lot.
it?
All
How
of them.
you were so forward thinking back in the day to, you and your mates with your enterprise
Yeah,
grant to start this little
that's it.
business.
Yeah, if you're patient with anything, 30 years later, I think things have come good.
Yeah,
But
but
it's taken a while,
it
we've
has,
had to
but I
work at
think
it.
with all
You know.
things, I mean, I'm a great believer in, eventually social justice and fairness, and I always think eventually the truth will out, won't it? If you're operating
Yeah,
on the right side
yeah,
and you really are trying to do good as well as do well, then hopefully that
exactly.
message does grow. And
Yeah,
it may be a slow
exactly.
burn, it may take longer. It's not usually the fast fix, but I think, well, it's like the tortoise and the hare, isn't it? Who wins the race in the end?
It is. Well, hopefully you're on. So it's nice to be working with you, and thank you very much for working with us at Vintage Roots for the mixed case, and it's
Yeah,
been a great success. Hopefully there'll be more to come.
great. I hope so too. Thank you. I'm going to let you crack on, Neil. I know you've got a really busy day just in the run up to Christmas, but I'll give everyone the details in
Oh,
a second. And if this goes well, perhaps we
exactly.
could do something for spring.
Yes, for sure. I'd love
Yeah,
to. Yeah, it was a
great.
bit quieter, and hopefully things are better for everybody as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah.
Exactly. Spring
Okay.
celebration.
Best
Thanks
wishes.
so much. Merry Christmas. Thanks for joining.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Bye bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye bye.
Oh, what a lovely man. Wasn't that interesting? I love hearing people's backstories. I'm really, I guess, as an entrepreneur myself and someone who's built brands, I love just hearing, why people started, what was the journey. And, he was starting out very similar time to me. I think I was slightly ahead of him, maybe early 80s, but, but kind of similar time. And it felt very pioneering. You'd say the word organic to somebody and they were like, what are you talking about? We don't get that. We don't understand it. Why do we need to be organic? And why is it important? And now, of course, everybody's sort of all over it. Anyway, just to finish up there, if you have got the magazine, you'll see it. It's on page 92 and 93, details of all the wines. 12 bottles, 3 bottles of that amazing Prosecco, 4 bottles of white. So there are 2 different versions of white. There's a light and then there's a slightly fruitier one. Bottle of lovely French Cru Classé Rosé, which is like the top rosé. 3 different reds, including that one from Sting, and your pudding wine. So there we go. And if you haven't got the magazine, why not? But anyway, if you haven't got it, just go to the Earle Wellbeing website and you will see it with a link, and that is available up until Christmas. So I'm not sure when their last shipping date is, but we've probably got another week or so if you fancy it. Anyway, and we have put notes in. So Richard and I wrote some exclusive little tasting notes to go with it, and you do get the link as well with that to hop online to actually look. We spent about an hour and a half doing a Zoom tasting and a tutorial, so you can watch that at your leisure. Anyway, thank you very much, Neil, for joining us. Now, I said that I had some feedback and some lovely things to share from our lovely community here, and it's just so nice to see the community grow and the chat. And so I just wanted to share with you, I hope that Heather is watching. Heather, are you watching? Maybe on Instagram, I don't know. And anyway, you wrote to the team and to me to say, thank you all for getting us through this horrid year. It's been a real joy reading your magazine and for being part of the Insta fam. Aha, Heather, you're Insta. I haven't missed one Insta live and have found your friendliness and compassion to be so encouraging, as I know lots of us have brought so much along the way with you, makeup, clothes, books, etc., and made some lovely dishes from your recipe and turning into a bit of a Liz clone. I'm attaching a photo of myself and my daughter at her recent socially distanced wedding. I applied my own makeup using tips and products from Liz's lives. With my thanks and gratitude to you all, have a safe and peaceful Christmas. And that was from Heather. Now, I know that Annie got in touch to say, would you mind if we shared your picture? And you were kindly agreed. And I just want to share a picture of the gorgeous Heather, the Liz clone. Isn't that lovely? With her daughter on her wedding day. Absolutely beautiful. You look really stunning, Heather, and it's just lovely of you to share that. We are just so grateful for all your kind words. It means a huge amount to my team and me, really, to get feedback. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Lovely one here from Deborah on Facebook, who says, I love your magazines. Thank you, Liz and team. Also from Carrie on Instagram, thank you so much for sharing. So lovely to see Lily with you. Both look so radiant. Honestly, I've learned so much from your Instagram lives and podcasts, so thank you. Well, you're very welcome, Carrie. And we have a podcast going live today, one of our main ones going live today. And also we have the Friday 5, which is going to be very interesting, which will go out on Friday. Lots of good things happening. More questions coming in here. This was actually about the podcast. This is from Susan on Instagram, and you say, listen to your most recent podcast about eggs and diabetes. My mother was New Zealand born Chinese and was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes in her 60s, so I found the podcast very interesting. I love, in capitals, at your podcast, you ask intelligent questions to knowledgeable guests. So where and how do I leave you a 5-star review? You completely deserve it. Wow, Susan, that's great. Okay, so if you listen on iTunes, if you just listen at the end of the podcast, I think it just comes up with a little star rating. Is that right? Just to click on the stars, or you can go online onto iTunes, or if you download it from the website, then when you listen, it just comes up. It just links you through to what platform you're using, iTunes or Spotify or whatever. And I'm pretty sure that you can just tap the little star and then you can leave a comment as well, if you like, or a review. So every little helps. Thank you very much indeed. Molly says, what kind of jar can I use for fermenting? Any kind of jar. I mean, technically people use Kilner jars, and they're the slightly sort of round jars that have a flip up top with a little metal closure that keeps them pressed down, so you've got the pressure. You don't need that. You could use any jar. The key thing with fermenting, though, is to remember to release the jar every now and then, because as whatever's inside the jar, whether it's kimchi or sauerkraut or kefir or yogurt or whatever, not so much yogurt, but certainly anything that's fermenting like kombucha, you need to release the pressure, because otherwise if the pressure builds up and up and up, there is a chance that it could explode. You don't want that. So Kilner jars, I think, tend to be quite good for that, because you can just very easily, they've got a release spring. Oh, Heather, you've commented. Thank you. I've had so many compliments about my makeup on the wedding day, and don't usually wear a lot of makeup, but followed Liz's tips and was amazed how easy it was. Oh, thanks, Heather. Really nice. Love this interaction. Very, very nice indeed. Now, talking about interaction, there was a lady who contacted me on Instagram who has set up a new little business, little perfume business. And I just said that I would give her a shout out, because I think it's a really neat little idea and a nice idea potentially for Christmas. It's called Perfino. And it smells amazing. And what's interesting about it is it's about how to use perfume, natural scent. So she makes these all with natural oils, but without actually applying it to the skin. So if you're somebody that is sensitive, maybe you've got an allergy, or you don't want to put perfume on your actual skin for whatever reason. So you get this little box like this. Can you see this? Whoops. Here we go. This is how it comes. So rather beautifully packed. And inside this little box, I have to say the smell is really good. You get this little bauble thing. Look at this. Okay, so if I take this out, and she has these made, and the idea is, I have literally just opened this because it's just arrived, so I haven't had time to do a trial run, so forgive me if I'm kind of learning on the job. So let's just take that off. So this is something, I guess it's like a little kind of perfume amphora that you would wear. Really nice little clasp. I love that, the little dongle at the back. So this is it, that's the little thing. And then inside you put little lava stones which absorb perfume. Now, I should have read the instructions, shouldn't I, before doing this? Whoops. I'm trying to balance everything on my knee, but you get the idea. Basically, in here, I've got lava stones. So you get these little coloured stones, like this. And then each one you can put, I don't smell of anything yet, because you can drop your fragrance oil on. So you would take out your little lava stone, and then you'd put your little drop of perfume oil on. This one's called And Breathe. It smells amazing. Haven't even taken the lid off and I can smell it. Really, really nice. So you pop that on your little ball, and then you pop your little ball in the little container here, and then it just sort of wafts as you wear it and it gets close to the skin. Isn't that lovely? Yeah, really, really nice. Really nice indeed. So I will put that together properly later. Apologies for not doing it now, but I just wanted to show you while I was in the studio. Lovely. Oh, it smells good. I know that's not the idea, is it? You're supposed to waft it from the little container, but I just thought that's so neat. I just love the way that people can be so inspiring. Here we go. You add 1 or 2 drops of a natural scent to a lava stone. You take the chain and you just pull the top off the top of the little pendenty thing. Can you see it on there? And then you drop the stone into the pendant, and then you close it, and that's it. There you go. It's from Kim. There we go. Hi, Liz and team. We hope you love the Parfino natural scent jewellery as much as we love creating it. We're a brand new business and depend on happy customers to help get the word out. There you go. Really nice. So Perfino, perfino.co.uk. And you can find them on, they're on Facebook, Pinterest, YouTube and Instagram. Very nice indeed. Well done. Wish you lots of luck with that one, Kim. Okay, so the mention today for our 12 days of Christmas, I think we are up to number 7 or number 8? Oh my goodness. I'm going to talk about, it's day 8 of the 12 days of Christmas. And this is a brand that is really close to my heart. It's called Organic Savannah, and it comes all the way from Kenya. And I've met the founders of this brand when I was over in Nairobi. Probably first met them a couple of years ago. And they have really, really lovely, lovely things. Go and check them out, organicsavannah.com. I know Amy will pop a link on Facebook. There'll be a link on the Instagram link tree. Liz Loves, all in capitals, gets you 15% off, which is amazing. They give 100% of all their profits to women's and community charities. 100%. Isn't that amazing? I mean, that is like serious hearts. And they are sustainable. They're also organic. So, we were talking about organic wine and grapes there with Neil earlier. These are organically grown oils, avocados. I mean, just, loads of hearts coming in for this. Really, really lovely. I mean, look at this. This is the Organic Savannah hand wash, orange, cedar and eucalyptus. It is a great smell. Really, really nice smell, particularly I think for this time of year. You want eucalyptus and cedarwood. Handmade from African botanicals, manufactured in Thika in Kenya, which is just northeast of Nairobi. And it says here, this responsibly made product creates jobs for mothers and funds education for their children. Ethical, vegan, no palm, cruelty free. There you go. So that is the lovely hand wash. And then This is the lotion. This is Palmarosa, macadamia, and shea. Shea, of course, is grown all over East Africa. Oh, that is a good smell. That is a really good smell. Lots of lovely things in there. Really delicious scented oils. And that comes, both of these comes with reusable pumps, by the way, so you can have your hand wash and your hand lotion. And then this one, what's in this little thing? Oh, this is the Baobab Lip Balm. This is cute. Look at that. I mean, what a great little gift for somebody. I love that, the African print fabric. Little lip balm tin. So the baobab tree is an extraordinary tree. It's one of the oldest trees in East Africa. And when I'm over there, I'll try and find some baobab and take pictures or show you, because it looks like it's been uprooted. In fact, there's this sort of legend that God got really cross with the baobab tree for whatever reason and pulled it up by its roots and shoved it back in the earth. Because when you look at it, its branches look like a mass of roots upside down. It looks like an upside down tree. And it has these extraordinary pods. They look a bit like a cocoa pod, but they are very pale. And when you split them open, it contains these white, feathery-like seeds, which have a really lovely oil, nourishing oil. But they used to make cream of tartar. I don't know if they still do, make cream of tartar from the baobab seed pods. And monkeys love them, so you've got to be really careful if you've got lots of monkeys in your garden, because they would just eat all the baobab pods. But also children will climb trees and they'll pick the pods because the seeds are quite sweet and they're quite sticky. It's almost like a marshmallowy type thing. So, you get these groups of kids sitting under the baobab trees eating the marshmallowy type seed pods. Anyway, so they have got here a little baobab balm. It says handmade in Kenya. Our all natural products are responsibly made using only the richest ingredients sourced locally across East Africa. And this is the key bit. 100% of our profits are funding educational initiatives for children, creating jobs for women and cleaning the environment. Funding education, creating jobs, empowering communities, and sustainable packaging. Isn't that great? Absolutely love it. So thanks, guys. I'm really looking forward to coming to see you. I am planning on being out in Kenya at some point in the early part of next year. Got lots of projects to go and visit, and lots of my charity projects to check up on as well. So that's a little tin of lip balm. Let's just give this a... It smells good. Very nice. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Okay, so I think, I'm not quite sure how long the offer lasts, but certainly it's live at the moment. 15% if you use Liz Loves in capitals on everything from Organic Savannah. So if you needed another incentive to shop ethically and do some good along the way, then I highly recommend them. And I look forward to coming out and seeing you. I'd love to go to Thika actually and visit the avocado plantations, because I know there's been a lot in the news recently about Kenyan avocados, and some good news and some not so good news. So it's really important to be able to support the communities that are doing well, like this one. Now, talking about oils, we have another little shout out here, and this is to the Governor olive oil. As you know, I'm a big fan of olive oil, extra virgin olive oil. And we have featured in the magazine in the past this lovely brand called the Governor. Love that, it's a great name, premium olive oil. It comes from Greece, it's a Greek olive oil, and it's unusual because it is the first extra virgin olive oil in the world to be classified as a health oil due to the extremely high levels of polyphenol compounds, particularly, gosh, it's going to get me now, oleocanthal and oleosin, if I pronounce that right. And these are the polyphenols that are really good for oxidative stress, for helping the gut. We're hearing more and more about the benefits of extra virgin olive oil. It is just one of those real staples, and I think it's rightly deserved. There's ongoing research, as it's being written about here, into aging, cancer, Alzheimer's. You can find out more about it if you want to on their website. That's the Governor EVU. You know what EVU stands for, of course. EVU, if you see that symbol anywhere in recipes or online, EVOO stands for extra virgin olive oil. And they are the governorevu.co.uk. We do have a Liz Loves discount that is going to get you 10% off. And it says here that they have just received their new harvest. So everything that's being shipped out now is from the new season, because a bit like wine, you know, fine vintages, you get different variation and vintages of extra virgin olive oil because the grapes grow in a similar condition to olives. So some years you can have a really great harvest of olive oil, other years it's not so good. In previous years, actually recently, it hasn't been very good. So olive oil has been really expensive because there hasn't been so much of it around, because a lot of it got destroyed with frosts, or they've had problems with insects and, you know, crop devastation. So they've said here, also in addition to the new season, we've teamed up with the Pink Ribbon Foundation, a grant-making trust who fund projects and provide financial support to individuals and UK breast cancer charities, large and small. We donate 10% of all our sales. Isn't that great? Well, this, I think, is lovely. I have to say, this hands down wins best packaging for best olive oil that I have ever seen. So it's a beautiful presentation box. And in here, let me just open it up. You've got the really lovely bottle inside. Is that going to open there? Yeah, there we go. So take that off. In here. Oops. Take the little cardboard bit off. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. Does that look spectacular? I love its sort of jaunty leather neckerchief. Really nice. I mean, if you're looking for a healthy gift for a guy, perhaps, you know, or somebody who's a really great chef, or who just loves cooking, or is into their health and well-being. And it says here, an early harvest fresh olive juice. So the olive oil is olive juice, full of concentrated goodness from Corfu, produced by 3 generations from 500-year-old Lionolia variety olive trees. Isn't that absolutely brilliant? Olive oil polyphenols contribute to the protection of blood lipids from oxidative stress. So there you go. And it's even numbered. So it's like hand numbered here with gold lettering, like a limited edition. Isn't that great? Really very special stuff indeed. And it's got a little leaflet that goes with it. So as you know, I'm a big fan of olive oil. This is something special. I wouldn't be cooking with this, definitely. I'd probably be having a little glassful of it, or just certainly, you know, drizzling it over something special, drizzling it over veggies, a bit of broccoli with a bit of olive oil. And actually, it's really important to, if you're having your green cruciferous vegetables, your sulfur-forming vegetables, so that's like your brassicas, Brussels sprouts, obviously coming into the season at the moment, cabbages, and cauliflower is also sulfur-forming, which is really good for the body. They contain vitamin K, but you need to have it with a little bit of fat to release it, to make it more absorbable. So putting a bit of olive oil on your green veg means that you get more, the body can use more of the goodness coming from the green veg. So now I always, whenever I'm cooking veggies, I will either stir fry them in a little bit of olive oil, or even if I've steamed them or cooked them, I will just drizzle on a little bit at the last minute. You know, even peas and beans and things like that, you can just put a teaspoon of the olive oil in, coat them around before you serve them, makes them look all glossy and shiny and nice, adds a great bit of flavour, very good for your gut health because you're adding the polyphenols, but you're also enabling more of that vitamin K2 to be released into the body. So there we go. Lots of lovely treats this Wellbeing Wednesday. I think that is just about it for today. Lovely to have your company. It's been great. Last couple of questions here about the wine. Would the organic wines be better for those that suffer from migraine, and which ones would you recommend, please? I think it depends what is triggering your migraine. You know, obviously, if it's been triggered by things like pesticide residues, then yes, obviously. So what you're doing is you're cutting down on a personal level. You're cutting down your exposure to any of the pesticide residues or any post-harvest treatment that might be applied from maybe conventional farming, and you're also benefiting the environment as well. And I think it is true in my humble experience, and I'm not an experienced winemaker, but the vinification processes that I've seen, and I have been to various vineyards over the years, there seems to be so much care and love and attention that goes into tending organic or biodynamic wines, because they tend to be smaller scale and there's just a bit more love and attention perhaps than a much larger scale conventional. It's a bit like, you know, conventional agrochemical farming, isn't it? So I think potentially they would be better, but I think one of the main issues with migraine can be histamine. And in fact, there's a question that's just come on here, and this is from Hafster on Instagram says, can you recommend the histamine wand you mentioned with Lily to help with a glass of wine? Well, Lily is highly sensitive to histamine. So she invested in these, I think they're just online. If you look up histamine wand, for wine, and they're quite expensive, unfortunately, and you need to use one per glass. So, you know, but if you're somebody that really can't cope with even a single glass of wine, then they are amazing, because it's like a little tea bag on a stick, and you stick that in your glass of wine and you wiggle it around for a couple of minutes. And I don't know how it works, but it takes the histamine out of the wine. So she can now have the odd glass of wine, knowing that it's not going to trigger a migraine. So interesting stuff. But yes, I mean, I would say start off by trying the organic, the biodynamic wine, because that might be, you know, one option. And yeah, and then take it from there. And then the next step up would be, you can also get filters to filter out sulfites. Sulfites in wine can be a trigger for some. So again, just have a look online. I think there's some really good filters out there. But the two things really that tend to be the triggers are the sulfites and the histamine. So, you know, those are the things that you might want to filter out. And don't forget that there are histamines in food as well. Of course, there's no point in filtering the histamine from your wine if you then go and eat a lot of aged cheese, or you have some charcuterie or whatever, because that's absolutely full of histamine. So don't always blame the wine. There's a lot of other things that contain histamines and sulfites as well, obviously, dried fruit. So it's not always the wine that does it. So there we go. That is it for today. If you want to join me with some cooking, I'll be back on Friday for a bit of that. We've got the download here, Healthy Happy Christmas. Lots of you downloading this. So much information in here. I'm going to be doing lots of things. There's everything from cooking your turkey to making mince pies, which I'm going to be doing, mulled wine. I mean, just this, I don't forget how many recipes and how-tos in there, dozens and dozens of them, all my family favourites. So I hope that you've been enjoying those. Thank you very much for all your lovely comments. Really, really nice to see you all. Yeah, lots of comments about, you know, whether to buy the olive oil for your husband or the wine box. Interesting. You get more bottles in the wine box. And of course you could share it. So there you go. Anyway, I'll leave you with that thought. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you very much. Let me know, send me messages and comments. I don't do direct message on Instagram, but I do try and look at the messages and comments on Facebook. And I do always try and reply to my comments on Instagram as well. So I hope everyone has a lovely rest of the day. Thank you very much for being with me. Don't forget that Annie Reed, Sanson Reed, lots of comments about dresses and headbands and belts and all of that. That's over there. Lots that we've chatted about today, so it's been really great to have the pleasure of your company, and I'll see you again very soon. There's a new video, by the way, or vlog going onto YouTube tomorrow, Thursday, so if you want to catch me, that's where I'll be tomorrow. See you then. Lots of love. Bye.